Good evening. It is a Tuesday night, 7:30 in the UK. That can only mean one thing. The NFL season is fast approaching as we do not consider pre-season as the season, do we?
No, this pre-season is a total waste of time. Hate it. Hate everything about it. It's the worst time of the year, but we are here. It is the most wonderful time of the year. And it's great to see, Harrison. I think last time I spoke to you, you didn't have a beard.
Could be true, mate. It could be true. I think that is true.
So how have we been this summer, mate? You well?
We are all good.
How's things in the beautiful north?
Not too bad, mate. Heat waves, and high energy bills, but that's a different podcast at a different time. Yeah, but here we are again, mate. Another season.
Yeah.
Double down on the blood pressure, especially being an Arsenal fan as well. Let's talk about, before we talk about what we've got in today's show, we actually have a comment from Gary, who is from Indy, which is nice. We're starting to break across there. You know, maybe I'll be able to say what the Beatles said, that we're bigger than Jesus, but don't think that goes down too well.
We'll be fine.
If there's only one God in Indy, in Peyton Manning, then surely Matt Ryan's Jesus, right?
Mate, let's not go there just yet. The hype over this team, mate. Can we get the negatives out of the way first?
We will get the negatives out of the way right after our introduction.
It has been that long, I even forgot about the intro.
There you go. Well, there's your nice little segue into the negatives.
So, Harrison, I've got to start with the negative. We've got to start with, by the end of this episode, I expect your enthusiasm and your passion to smash through the screen and turn all my thoughts into positives, as you usually do. I don't get it. I don't get this. Matt Ryan's the next coming. I've watched him for many years, especially the last couple of years. We still have a lot of holes in our offense. Maybe I'm just being Mr. Grinch, but I don't get it.
Well, somebody who probably does get it is Tom, who's forever here.
That's a proper northerner.
Evening to you, Tom. I'm just going to say negatives. Okay, Matt Ryan.
No, you're supposed to be convincing me. You're supposed to be Mr. Positive.
Right. Matt Ryan, he's underwhelming, if you ask me.
Mate, we can't both start the season like this.
If put it this way, if we're to put a scale, you've got complete left, you got Philip Rivers. Complete right, you got Carson Wentz. And then exactly like Keir Starmer, directly in the middle, you've got Matt Ryan, haven't you? I don't know. There's a lot that preseason didn't answer for me. I believe Frank Wright's come out and said, don't expect anything, week one to be anything like preseason. I mean, the surprising sort of summer actions, let's say the summer event for me is, I mean, I know T.Y.'s the ghost, but did we have to ghost him like that? What's going on with T.Y.? Like, do you know?
No, well, it was quite fun. I was listening to Kevin Bowen this week, and T.Y. Jr. And Chris Ballard Jr. are playing against each other this weekend.
Wow.
In their college or high school game. So they're going to be at the game together.
Yeah.
For me, a wide receiver group. I know Alex Pierce has been, all through preseason, all the training camps, he's making catches, but training camp's one thing, in a real game situation another. So if you've got our three starting wide receivers, Pittman, who we love.
Yeah.
Alex Pierce, who hasn't taken a live NFL rep yet. and my good friend, Paris Campbell, who, contract year, like what can he produce? Is a good year for him. 10 touchdowns are a good year for him, making 16 games or 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, again, Matt Ryan, he's going to do a lot of dump offs. He's going to take what's given to him.
Mm-hmm.
And have we got a tight end that can do that?
Oh God, this is a bad year to let Jack Doyle retire. A bad year.
No TY, no Jack. But with all my kind of questions and negatives,
mm-hmm.
looking at the opening fixtures, I've still got us 3-1 from the first 4 games.
You know what I mean, man? I've got us 4-9.
So, there's so many questions, but still, when we come on to look at the Texans,
mm-hmm.
Davis Mills should not be coming into Indy and going away with a W. There's no way in hell. From the offense of the Texans, obviously Davis Mills, we played him last year, but maybe Laramie Tunsil's probably the only one from the whole of the offense I've probably heard of.
Well, I was quite surprised. Obviously, I want to try and stick to the Colts, but the Texans are our first game, so we'll get onto that. But I was quite surprised the Texans cut Marlon Mack. That was really shocking to me. Wow. If I'm Frank Wright, Chris Ballard, I'm sort of looking at that going, there's a nice third running back that we had once before he did 1,000 yards.
Mate, I was a big Mac attack guy, but I've literally just pulled up the Texans depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
So their starting running back is a guy called Damian Pierce. The second is Rex Burkhead, who's obviously the Patriots, and the other two I've never heard of either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually just looking at their depth chart, and they've got Brandon Cook still at wide receiver, but the rest of them, so from a defensive standpoint, there's not really anything there that's worrying. But there's always that random tight end that will go and get 100 yards against us. So, I've just got to click on this. Sorry, looking at the depth chart, Philip Dorsett.
Oh,
who doesn't even make the first string.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is. Is it our former Philip Dorsett? College, Miami.
Yeah, that's him, innit?
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking at that, we got a couple of comments.
Go for it.
Well, we got a couple of comments coming in with the positivity train.
Yes.
So is Ryan better than Wentz? Yes, it's an upgrade. Come on. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying, for me, this is how I sum it up as an upgrade. No Colts fan can argue that Carson Wentz has a high ceiling. It was his flaw that was the problem. His flaw was ground 6, level fucking 7, basement of hell. Throwing screens on the 1 yard line of your own end zone. And Matt Ryan's flaw is maybe choking the lead. So, whereas Matt Ryan's ceiling is Super Bowl winner. Let's be honest, he is a quality quarterback. We're not doubting the quality. It's just over the years there has been a steady decline in Matt Ryan's trends, and I don't like following trends and too much numbers, but there has been that.
It's not just that; it's a throwing arm. It's that it is. You need a quarterback that can make those 5 yards on the floor if needed.
Mm-hmm.
You're hearing this week. One of the receivers said last year, it was a lot of they were playing football. They weren't really doing drills. If they wanted to go, if the receiver wanted to run somewhere, he'd go. Whereas apparently Matt Ryan's very much is this is your route, this is what you're running.
Yeah.
So at least there'll be a bit more organisation. But from us as a fan, I don't want to go through 17 games of what we had to watch, didn't have to watch, of what we watched last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because looking back on that season, it was a hard go.
It was very hard. And just from Gary, you're wrong. Right shows nothing in pre-season, so you haven't even seen the offense. Ryan is better than you think. He is Philip with a better. Yeah, it just adds on to Tom's point. I would not say Matt Ryan is a bad quarterback by any means, shape, or form. I mean, just for me, if we don't if Philip, it all starts, it's the domino effect, and if Philip Rivers doesn't retire after 1 year, we don't make the Wentz trade. Where we then had to, which I think Chris Ballard did an excellent job of recouping something and getting Matt Ryan and managing to ship Wentz off to the whatever they're called now. I think we got, what did we get back?
Washington Commanders. Yeah,
maybe second.
But just going back, Frank's never shown anything in preseason. It's very vanilla, just kind of going through the motions. If anything in preseason, it was a little bit worrying that there wasn't much fluidity in any of the drives, which, again, it's preseason, it doesn't matter. But it's a supporting cast around Matt Ryan as well. But if you look around the league, Steelers are starting Mitch Trubisky. Wentz looks like he's starting for the Commanders, which again is an upgrade against that. I couldn't even tell you who's starting for the Seahawks this year. So
it was Jacob Eason at one point, no?
So that name's going to come back and haunt us. But so there is a lot of positive there, but I'm just not sure that the kind of supporting cast around him is going to help him. But Matt Ryan's going to take what's given to him, which is going to be good for us, especially when you've got the running back that we've got. Which you see, you wouldn't have seen it just before we came on. Philip Lindsay's on the practice squad now. Because I thought that was quite weird, not taking him into the 53. But again, you got to.
It's sort of with Philip Lindsay. It feels like the Man City approach of we don't need you, but we're not letting anyone else have a decent running back, decent catching running back. Anyway, positives, because we are ramping up to the start of the season. Now, obviously, the big debate between Colts fans at the minute is who is QB2.
Mate, what an absolute farce. The fact that there's discussion over quarterback 2 and quarterback 3. I don't know if this is more about
you side with me on this, didn't you?
Or just the fact that it's just been a really quiet off season.
It's been such a quiet off season.
Like for me, I'll give you my opinion quickly. Big Dick Nick.
Big Dick Nick
should be nowhere near the 53-man roster. Not just because what he showed in the preseason, because again it doesn't matter. We've got that experienced quarterback in Matt Ryan. And if Matt Ryan's not going to be fit for the 17 games, well, just chuck in the young man then.
Yeah.
Your new guy, Sammy the Slinger. He's unproven, but Nick Foles has failed more than he's won. So, it's not really and for me, if I've got to sit and watch Nick Foles on a 1 a.m. on a Thursday, on a Friday morning, that's going to be a tough watch. And I'd prefer to watch someone unknown, a bit fresh, and so you've got that bit more empathy towards them, rather than if Big Dick Nick's throwing interceptions and it's 1:30 in the morning. I will not be a happy bunny.
Our turn went into Ryan in a second next year. Yeah, second, not a third.
It's conditional. I think the second or third's conditional from what he plays this year.
Yeah. Anyway, on to my best mate, Sammy the Slinger, future Super Bowl winner, ring wearer, Erlinger.
One of these nicknames will kick off soon, mate. Don't worry.
I liked what he showed in preseason for me, and not the fact that he's playing against guys who are fighting for a job and are probably going to be in car washes next year or car showrooms as the the high school hero. It's what he did in preseason last year to what he did in preseason this year.
You did like him last year?
I did. And even last year, I was willing to ride the Eastern train. I like the idea of giving the rookie a chance, and you can see what a year of working with Frank Reich behind the scenes on the practice squad, no pressure, has done for Sam Erlinger. And I'm just going to say, this guy has wheels. I did not know this about Sam. I know he could check it down and run if he had to. But he's really no slouch. He's what was it, 40-yard TD run? Was fantastic. He's still got a bit of a way to go. He seems to have been hanging around with Carson Wentz a bit too much. He just holds onto that ball, and that's something he needs to get out of his game.
Yeah.
But like for me, having Nick Foles there, watch this come back and bite me, but it feels like the waste of a roster spot with a potential. We could add another wide receiver. We got quite a deep core around the camp. Another tight end, another lineman, etc., etc. It just seems like a bit of Frank Wright doing Nick Foles a solid, and I don't like that.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you, mate. I'm on board, but whatever they decide to do, the quarterback, I'm not going to be raging about it. I'm not going to be like some of the stuff on Twitter. It is what it is. It'll be there for a reason. But as long as I don't want to see Big Dick Nick take any meaningful snaps during this season.
I mean, he's definitely not the worst number 2 QB out there. And he has won a Super Bowl, regardless of how we like it or not.
Plenty of trash have.
Yeah, I think this is a good point from Gary. We all have some, but Nick has Reich's trust to run his offense the way he runs. Yeah, and I see two things with that. I see, yes, Reich trusts him to run his offense and the way he wants to run it. But is that just being a bit of a yes man, and can that get you in trouble?
You've seen it with the defense, obviously. The reason why Yannick's come because of the defensive coach, and so I get that. But it comes to the point of the quality on field, and this is a product that the Colts are putting out. The NFL is a commercial product, and as I say, watching Nick Foles at 1:30, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning isn't going to be enjoyable, and there will be a few F-bombs thrown out if he is there.
Yeah, but that's why we're going to talk about that, because, like we say, it's been such a quiet offseason, even a quiet preseason, apart from the devastating news. The best punter in the league, Rigoberto Sanchez, torn his ACL. Season ender for him. This guy has been phenomenal, stepping in Pat's shoes. They're big boots to fill, or cleats, however you phrase it. But the guy recovered from, I believe it was testicular cancer
when he was younger.
Yeah, and to play out some of the season. But now we have a guy who the Bills decided to get rid of. We won't go into their punter situation. But we have a guy who can constantly pin teams into a 10-yard box, whatever you want to call it.
Do you know what annoys me about the special teams?
Go on.
I was expecting a proper kicking competition, and we never got one. I love a good kicking competition. That was going to be my highlight of the off season, and we didn't get one. So, as long as I'm concerned, Bubba can go to hell this year.
I will not have a bad word said against Bubba Venturing. I will not have a bad word said.
I was waiting for it.
Gary's just agreeing with you about watching Nick Foles. He just says, "Yeah, only earlier in the day. Yeah, rub it in."
Yeah, Gary, some different kettle of fish. Come and watch the NFL over in the UK, mate, because it's all times in the morning.
Especially when you're losing to Jacksonville, it's stinky. But,
nothing's ever going to beat that special teams play against the Patriots. Nothing's ever going to beat that.
Oh God!
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. You're like, guys, what are you doing? Anyway, back onto the special teams.
I will not.
And your mate Bubba.
Yeah, leave Bubba alone. But as you saw, yeah, I wanted to know, I didn't think Blankenship can do kickoffs. I still think he'll struggle to do kickoffs in open air stadiums or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Because our worry, and I know we've talked about this before, Robbie, our worry is, what did that injury come from? Trying to put a bit of strength into his kicks? Because if it did, it's a big concern for me.
He made a 50, was it 52 or 53 in the preseason games?
Yeah, he's definitely got, his legs definitely got stronger. But it's that injury. If that flares up again, you've got to say, like, it's one of them. Have you got to be kind to be cruel? I love Rodrigo. I love what he brings to the team. I love his character or his personality. Say it's not a character, is it? But it's like Paris Campbell. I want him to do really well. I want him to do phenomenal because I believe he can do. But if he gets injured again this year, we're not going to re-sign him.
If he gets injured this year, I want that number one just taken off of him, mate.
Yeah.
You took the number one because you thought you were Bertie Big Balls.
Yeah,
and it didn't work out. But you know, joking about Bubba already, but he is a fantastic special teams coordinator. It's like year in, year out, that unit always shows up.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've said it plenty of times. The Colts special team unit is different. You can tell it's not just seen as the step up unit where they get a chance to play and then they start playing like every third rotational snap in right outside linebacker sort of thing. His leg looked good, but his kickoffs were instructed by the coach to see. All right, okay, see the teams run. That's fair enough. That's exactly what preseason's for, I suppose my concerns coming from previous experience of he struggled in that Buffalo playoff game. And I know Frank put him in cold to try and kick a 55-yarder into wind. But it's just one of them. We just don't know. And but anyway, enough of the special teams. We love them. We love Bubba.
Should we move on to the defense?
The defense, mate. Very exciting.
Well, first of all, obviously, we haven't chatted for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, last year's big announcement that Bobby O was Bobby Okereke.
Okereke. Yeah.
And obviously, our mate Darius isn't Darius.
Yeah. Shaquille. Big shot.
Shaquille Darius Leonard. I'm going to mess that up every single week. And it's not on purpose, and I'm sure he won't care.
It's whatever he is, he's still the maniac.
Agree with that. And he's on the depth chart as started.
Wow. I didn't. I thought he would.
Yeah. I was worrying it was another Peyton, another Andrew Luck, another, oh my God, another injury. We're going to be losing him.
Yeah. Big shot, Darius Leonard, Shaquille Leonard, Darius Shaquille Leonard, trying to put them all together. He seems like a Gus Bradley type of guy. And we know what the problems were with the defense last year. And it's not going into my best mate Fleece. We're not going to go into that. I could be here for 4 hours talking about Fleece's defenses.
From the 17 weeks, I think we did 17 hours on that Fleece last
year. I see what I am seeing is a lot more rotation. Maybe that was it's preseason, so don't take anything. But there was a lot more rotation, a lot more, getting people in there and just seeing what they can do.
The front four, if the depth chart's anything to go by, we've got Quitty and Yannick Ngakwe at the ends, and then you got Big Grover and DeForest in the tackle positions.
Yeah.
Now, for me, this defensive line has been, I'd go as far as saying crap. for a long, long time. I don't think Yannick Ngakoue is going to fix it. I think we've played against him enough. I don't get the hype around him. Hopefully, I'm proved wrong. I'd love to be. I think Grover's looking like an absolute beast.
Monster.
And then obviously we've got Taekwon Lewis that kind of backing up, and Oda Bingo and Ben Banogu can obviously back up the ends as well. But this unit needs to perform.
Yeah, and I
really feel this is the only part of the defense that hasn't performed for a few years.
What I will say, and what I liked about watching the preseason is, over the past years, I've been able to read Matt Eberfleiss's defenses, and by no means should I be able to read a defense. By no means, I am a complete rookie when it comes to reading defenses. I don't even know what I'm looking at. But when it came to Matt Eberfleiss, I know if I put it anywhere on a slant route or a hitch route or a slot or a curl, it was completed pass for 7 yards. And I know it was going to be a front four and then some sort of bastardized version of cover two. With, I think Gary's just agreed that, well, this is our best defensive line in a long time. Yeah, I think that's what we're saying is this
on
is
paper. No,
on
it's
paper.
the best on paper, and they've got to show up.
Yeah, and I remember it was against Tampa and Tampa's starters, maybe barring Tom Brady. I couldn't read the defense, which I was happy about. I was like, this looks like the same old Colts, and a blitz came out of nowhere. I think it helped that Grover Stewart just absolutely mauled their left guard, I think it was. And we got like 2 tackles for a loss in a row. So it was nice to see a revitalized defense, even though it was only preseason.
yeah, and then we're moving on to the linebackers. Obviously, if Big Shaq's back, that's brilliant. If not, we had EJ Speed in there. Yeah, my mate Bobby O. He is gonna. I think he's gonna, improve again year on year, which he's done. I think he's going to be certainly more tactically more astute, and I think he'll be able to look after the field a lot more. And then Zaire Franklin's got the other linebacking job.
Yeah. Who are you going to double team? My guessing is Buckner's going to get most of the double teams because he is the name. He's the shirt seller, and he rightly so as well. He's earned his reputation. And I think if you leave Grover Stewart one-on-one,
that Grover will eat on that.
Yeah. I've seen that man. We've seen that man eat chicken wings in Hard Knocks.
You got to remember as well with the athleticism of depending on Shaq's knee, and his ankles issue that he's had, but you still got Kenny Moore and Blackman who, we've seen them come forward and get sacks as well. So you see, if you had that fifth person just coming in, it is an absolute force. Julian Blackman's back and fit. Nick Cross, apparently he's going to be the other. He's going to be starting strong safety.
He's absolutely shone in pre-season.
But I think with this group, it's been absolutely brilliant. Brandon Fancyson, who's obviously been in Gus Bradley's system before.
Yeah.
But again, I've not seen too much of him, so I can't really comment much. And Stephen Gilmore, who for me was an absolute brilliant pickup.
Did you? I can't remember what game it was. I want to say it was the one before the Bucs. No, sorry, it was Tampa Bay. The absolute bollocks pass interference call on Stephen Gilmore. I can't be bothered with this.
Mate, I cannot get into you with any sort of refereeing, umpiring, video assisted referee conversation because I'm still fuming from last weekend. I just hope the NFL are calling it straight from day one, and they're calling a spade this year. Because I'm fed up of these sports having been ruined by the officials.
Absolutely ruined.
And I just want to give a mention as well to Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah.
Back in the last year, I thought he turned up really well. And there's obviously he'll be doing some sort of, I assume, punt return or some sort of kick return as well, as he was doing back in the last year. So it's cool. And we've just gone through this 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we haven't even mentioned Naheem Hines. He just seems to have hid away for the, I just don't know what's gone on with him. Like, no one's really talking about him. No one's really.
I'm a bit worried in the sense that, what is he? Is he going to be a halfback, wide receiver, specialist?
A little dump off 4 yards.
I don't want him returning punts, but I don't think he will. I think that'll go to Deion Jackson.
No, well, just scrolling down here. Kick return is Isaiah Rodgers or Ashton Dulin, and Naheem Hines is put down as a punt returner.
I don't like that.
For me, he's too good to be doing that. But again, Wright gets.
We give him a big contract, didn't we? We give him quite a big contract, and to just be a punt returner, that's surely something's gone on there. There's something fishy about that, if you ask me.
God knows. And something I forgot to mention in the offense as well. French and fries are on the roster.
Yes,
it's just so aesthetically sweet on the eye.
Yeah,
it is absolutely wonderful. And I'd like to see that once this season, just to have it on there. Put them in there as quick as getting a touchdown.
They worked on a 2-back set in practice. I reckon we'll probably see a lot more of 2 backs. I don't know what you call the formation, but
2-back sets are all well and good. But if you've only got the front 5 protecting, usually if you do 2-back sets, one of them usually comes into the line as some sort of edge blocker or just kind of that extra protection, which neither of them are. It's not like a Dwayne Allen type that used to love it. And you've got to remember, we haven't got Jack Doyle this year, who spent a lot of his reps, as that third tackle as such, or was that just giving that edge protection, which from what I've seen, Mo's not very good at that. Kyle Granson, again, that's not his forte. So 2-back sets are great, but and from an offensive standpoint, it's exciting, but there has to be the other kind of bit of protection there. Paris Campbell isn't going to do it. Alec Pearson's going to do it. We've seen Pittman do the grunt work a lot, but it'll be it'll be good to see how they're going to work that. But again, it just comes down to Matt Ryan and the play call, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Quentin Nelson is the beast of this offensive line. Nobody wants to block Quentin Nelson or stop Quentin Nelson. We've seen players literally dive on the floor just to get out of the way. The guy's probably 300 pounds of beer muscle and food muscle and can run like a freight train.
Yep.
So then you give that guy the extra motivation of chasing French fries down the field in front of him when we do a pull to the right.
Look, I want to see Quinton get a touchdown this season.
Oh, again, someone else we've not mentioned. Can't wait to see more Jelani Woods.
Is he going to see much time?
Oh, I don't know. With Granson, and it depends. It depends, doesn't it? It just depends who we're going to be this year. Because we had no identity as a team. Okay, running team with JT.
No. Even that, we I wouldn't say we had an identity. One of the things that we're saying, what is our team? And even looking back, yeah, we are a running team, or were a running team. But that's because we couldn't get the passing game going.
Yeah.
So it was a run team by default. Whereas, a run team is run first, and it is for a reason. And I'm what are we 35 minutes in? I'm getting a little bit excited, Harrison. I'm getting a little bit excited.
Yeah, I think I can. I mean, I'm expecting big things. I mean, for me, the pressure on stepping up now is on Mo Alley-Cox. We've seen in flashes. We've seen what this guy can do in flashes, but he's never done it consistently.
Yeah,
and for me,
but as well, I will back him up. But I totally agree with everything you say there, Harrison.
Yeah,
look who's had thrown to him, especially last year.
And even Philip, we know Philip Rivers spread the ball out like a machine gun. I just hope to God we don't just try a long pass on 1 and 10, on 1st and 10. Sorry, that was my typical Englishman coming out then, and then we run it on 2nd and 10. Then we try a screen pass on 3rd and 8, and then we punt. I can't watch any more of. I know I said it last year, and you're gonna remember this, but I can't do with the screen passes and the swing passes and the switch passes and just.
Mate, it's different, because we've got Matt Ryan's almost that offensive coordinator on the field again.
Yeah,
because of his experience. And the good news for me personally on Sunday, that the West Ham Newcastle game, Tom, up yours. It's been moved. It's a 2:00 game now, not 4:00.
Winner.
So as long as I can get back on the M25 quickly, I'll be back in time for it.
Nobody's ever got on the M25 quickly, mate.
It was I went to a night game the other week against Spurs, and they closed the M25.
Really?
It was horrendous. But so we're looking at Texans, Jaguars, 2-0. Kansas City Chiefs, they won't be anything this year. 3-0. Titans, 4-0. Then we've got the Broncos, will be fine because Russell Wilson won't be there. 5-0. Back to Jacksonville, 6-0. Titans again, 7-0. Washington Commanders and Carson Wentz, 8-0. Patriots, you've got nothing now, 9-0. Las Vegas Raiders, there'll be some sort of betting scandal when they'll lose that one, 10-0. Eagles, our boy Frank Reich needs to get one back there, 11-0. Steelers, they'll be through Mitch Trubisky, they'll be through Duck Hodges or whoever they will have, 12-0. Cowboys, week before the bye week, depends how much Jerry Jones pays the umpires. So maybe that'll be 12-1, depending on how much he pays them.
Yeah.
Then we've got Vikings, Chargers, Giants, Texans to see out the season. Mate, we've already won it. We've already won the season. We've already won it. 17-0.
Give it to us now. Give it to us now.
Let's take 1 week at a time. But if we can't beat Texas, I know, everyone's going to talk about the curse of, we haven't won in 9 or 12 years. It doesn't matter. If we don't beat the Texans at home, first game of the season.
I'm done. I can't be doing with the stress of Arsenal and watching us lose the fucking Texans week 1.
Something
Davis,
right there.
Davis Mills throwing for 500 yards and Philip Dorsett getting 4 touchdowns. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it.
He got a touchdown against, didn't he, for the Patriots a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Swine.
Who was it at the Jags who got a touchdown and then did TY celebration?
Don't know, but I hope he's dead.
Yeah. I mean, just to sort of like see how the show, because obviously we're waiting for the return of Red Zone and Scott Hansen, because that's the best thing about Sundays. What is your like sort of look forward to, worried about, and prediction, and too hot to call prediction for the season?
Well, from a Colts point, I worry about playing the Titans.
Always.
that's always a nightmare. For me personally, I love the Christmas games because it gives me an excuse to get away from everyone. West Ham aren't playing on Boxing Day this year, so it's a case of whatever's on is on.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, mate, like I'm just looking forward to as everyone else, just getting back into this football routine.
Yeah,
I started a new job this week, so I won't be getting up Thursday night because I've got to travel to Suffolk on Friday. But as soon as I get back in on Friday, I'm watching that Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations!
Cheers, mate. With raising household bills, it's easier to go get a new job to get a pay rise rather than ask where you are.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the crux of it. From an outside standpoint, if I'm looking forward to watching any team, it's the Buffalo Bills. I think Alan there. I think the quarterback's special. I think they've got something special going on there. And I'd probably early prediction if something happens like we get 53 injuries, I'd say Buffalo will be there.
Mm-hmm.
How about yourself?
I mean, let's start with what I'm worried about. Get the negatives out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't know about this offense. I just don't know.
I'll be trying to. We've just done 40 minutes of getting positive, Harrison.
It'll end positive. Don't worry. I don't know. My thing to look out for is Nick Cross. I think this guy's a talent. I think we're going to see a big step up in defense, and that excites me because this defense was extremely talented last year in not a bad zone, but not a bad scheme, but a stale scheme.
Yeah.
With only rushing for ever. So the fact that we're going to change that up and bring it even more intensely is exciting. And I think the hot prediction is, God, I mean, apart from Colts being Super Bowl champions, but that's taken for it's a bit of a weird one, but I'm gonna go for Matt Ryan gets a freak injury week 1, and Sammy Erlinger beats out Big Dick Nick and takes the Colts to Super Bowl glory for what is it now? We've got 8 years to win 3 of them.
Yep.
But
from Mr. Irsay's predictions or from his wants or whatever he said.
Yeah. And I mean, this is it for me. We're getting this back. South champs. We're getting it back. It's ours. It's coming back to Lucas Oil.
If it doesn't happen this year, then it won't happen for a long time. But you know what? Just think about it. The NFL this season, for the last 15 years, it's been Patriots, Steelers, Seahawks. And we're now at that point where those 3 teams are nowhere. There's new. Obviously, Kansas have had a little run, but I don't think they've lost Hill and they've lost a lot of their weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Now's a time where the next team for the next decade needs to step up, mate. And as I say, that's 43 minutes of, oh my God, I'm not looking forward to this season. What is going on? To, mate, we've done it.
I'll tell you what, mate. When's the Super Bowl? It's usually like 2nd of February or something like that.
Yeah.
This time in February, Valentine's Day, mate, we're going to be talking about how the Colts shocked the world and went undefeated.
That's what I've talked to you.
21 games.
I'm now Mr. Positive.
There you go. Anyway, we best wrap this up because I do have actual work to get on with. Anyway, it's good to be back. Thanks to Gary for watching from Indy. It's nice to, like I say, to start getting fans from all over the world. Tom, it's a pleasure as always, mate. It's just 17-9, mate. It's easy as that. Just keep winning. If you want to win the Super Bowl, just keep winning. And that's what
I'll speak to you Sunday and speak to you next Tuesday, pal.
Speak to you next Tuesday.
Have a good week.